How would Pokemon change if you could add an additional type? Well, quite a bit, I imagine. It's like half of their being, half of their primordial body. Today we find out, what if the Regis were dual typed? What would they look like? How cool would they be? I guess maybe Regice would be a little bit less cool because it would have less ice, so it would be warmer. Sorry. The Regi of every type video is something that we took a look at recently, and I thought it was really cool, and I was recommended the dual type video by Pragmagic, which thank you for letting me react to this. I'm excited to see how this goes.
The legendary Titans. The Regis, formerly known as the legendary Titans. Monstrous golems made...
Which, by the way, is a sick name for a trio. The legendary Titans. I mean, what's the other ones? Birds? Genies? Okay, Genies kind of goes a little bit hard, to be honest. But the other ones just aren't as cool as Titans. That's a really sick name.
Made up of the element of their singular type, with each representing a different period of time or age, aside from REGIS, who created them all, therefore spanning all time in creation. The Pokemon community has long wondered...
Whoa, that is definitely a way to say that. All time in creation? Goodness gracious me, he's got mossy feet.
What a Regi...
Yeah, he looks like he's been around from all time in creation. Bro, needs a shower.
Every type might look like, and we've even covered that here on the channel. But what
Which is a great video, and by the way, you should definitely watch it if you have not.
Abilities might unfold if we made dual-typed Regis.
What are we gonna do? I guess you could do Registeel as Steel Fire, which so it would turn into Molten Steel, which would be sick. You could turn Regirock into maybe Rock Grass, so it starts to have some kind of wildlife growing on it. You could do Regice as... Ooh, that's a hard one, because no matter what you do with Regice, it's going to get a bit melty, really. What about Ice Flying? So it turns into an ethereal, icy, flying creature. That doesn't make any sense. There's probably much better ideas in this video.
Everyone, Brandon here. A little over a year ago was our Regi of every type video. And with that being one of our most popular videos on the channel, I wanted to make a bit of a sequel, and the idea for dual-typed Regis came to mind. Though, with there being 306 different dual typings a Pokemon can have, I am certainly not going to try and shove 306 different designs into one video.
But you could. That would be a banger. I would love to see that.
My wallet would hurt.
Okay, I don't know if you could actually. That would be ridiculous.
A lot if I did something like that. So
yeah, paying the artist for that would be insane. You'd have to pay for each individual creation and idea to be made and drawn and laid out. But it would be sick. You could make a Pokedex out of Regis.
So how do we narrow it down? Well, what if we gave the existing Regis a secondary type? This led me to the question of, what if we brought their ages concept to the present day? And their secondary type could match something happening to that element in our current age. So
that is a very cool idea. Oh, so what, the ice caps are melting?
Since I can't draw, I worked with artist Fungus Fakemon to bring my concepts to life. They did a fantastic job, so make sure to check them out. With these dual type
I will leave them linked in the description as well.
Regis, what we envisioned is that they're almost like corrupt evolutions to their original forms.
I love how Regieleki is the only one that's actually shaking as well because it has so much energy going on. I love Regieleki's personality. It's so fun. I feel like it's the only... No, I can't say it's the only Regi with the personality because, you know, Mr. Un over there, but Regieleki just has such a fun personality.
Having been forced to evolve by an also very much corrupted evolution of Regigigas, Regitheus. But that's something we'll revisit later on. First, let's talk about the first Regi in the Dex, Regirock. A stone golem representing the Stone Age. According to its dex entries, it can repair itself by gathering new rocks to replace old, damaged ones. But
okay, so I'm hearing that there's some spooky music on in the background. Are we gonna make it Rock Ghost? Are the rocks dying in the current age? The rocks are being crumbled and chipped away?
What if it lost that ability due to an overexploitation of the natural resources around it? With that, and a little help from Regitheus, it would evolve into Regihollow.
Oh man, look at that. That's kind of sick. I like how the eyes change as well. This does look like a vengeful spirit that has possessed these natural resources as a way to get back at humanity. You can see this happening. This reminds me of like Zelda bosses.
Type channels the spirits of the dead through its ghastly amethyst-like crystals, using their energy to move its broken, thinned-out limbs, as it can no longer keep them together itself. Its giant, claw-like hands even mirror the very excavation equipment that made it this way.
God damn, those things are real? I thought I saw one in Borderlands once, and I was like, oh man, that's a cool, funny thing that they made up. No, this is... It's got giant circular saw. What are they sawing? Did they saw through the planet? Man, I am not educated enough for this.
Using them to scrounge up whatever rocks it can add to itself, desperately trying to survive, but also stealing vital resources from humanity. Its hollowed out chest looks like this...
Stealing vital resources. Yeah, stealing from us. Yeah, because it's ours, right? Yeah, stealing.
Of a strip mine. The real world process of removing material from a chunk of land in an attempt to find the ore beneath. This hole is also reminiscent of the holes in the chests of Hollows from Bleach, which Regihollow, oh so coincidentally, shares its name with. Its eyes are shaped like a pickaxe to reference the overmining that made it end up this way. Altogether,
oh, okay, that's what it was. It was a pickaxe. All right. I thought it was just an arrow pointing upwards.
The appearance of a large, shambling zombie that has lost its legs, marching towards you with its mouth agape. The original Regi trio didn't get amazing type boosting abilities like Aleki or Drago did, so Regihollow would receive a new ability called Gravestone that would act like Dragon's Maw or Transistor, but only a 1.25 times multiplier to both rock and ghost type moves. Now,
that's a cool idea.
That were mines to make Regihollow had to be sent somewhere, right? In comes Regi Waste,
oh, okay. Industrial waste. This makes sense. It's like I wouldn't say like a nuclear power plant, but it's definitely getting there. Oh my god, those fingers are so long. So obviously we have the big chimneys that are spewing out the toxic fumes. Goodness me. And it has the kind of corruption and rust toward the bottom to show the lack of repair, the disrepair that this building is in, the lack of care put into the building, and of course the poison doing its work is corrupting and rusting the steel beneath it.
Steel poison type. This Pokemon was brought about as humanity began to expand and industrialize more of the Pokemon world. Corporations captured Registeel for its mysterious metal, stripping away and harvesting parts of it but leaving its main body behind. They would use these metals, refining them to make stronger buildings, weapons, and refineries to keep the cycle going.
Oh, that's horrible.
Regitheus came upon the husk of Registeel and gave it new life, making it reflect the buildings and refineries that were built using its body.
Oh, I mean, that's just not very nice, is it? I don't think the Registeel wants to be like that. Did anyone ask the Registeel what it wanted? Anyone ask it? No? We can't really speak. It can just beep and boop. You could do the 1 beat for yes, 2 beat for no type of thing. Like, hey, do you want to be turned into massive industrial waste? I know this Regi, that's turning everything, this Regi Ethereal isn't really that much of a nice fella, but could have came along and said, hey, do you want to be turned into one of these disgusting, horrible creatures? And he said, oh, beep, beep. For now, two beeps actually.
Regi Waste uses its long, spindly fingers to suck up material that it can refine and make better, but will spew out noxious fumes out of the top of its 2 tower-like appendages. It has neon flowing through its body to reference futuristic dystopian cities like the ones from Blade Runner, Akira, and Ghost in the Shell. Though the towers are sturdy, the hands and legs are fractured and decayed. We wanted everything but the body and the top of the towers to look like a battered, rusty, unstable foundation that led up to the smoke from the refineries, much like the
just like our society is a battered, unstable, rusty foundation that will collapse eventually. And then will be like the Fallout TV show, which has been really good recently.
Broken civilization that these towers rest on top of and perpetuate. Pretty dark stuff, I know, but hey, it isn't called dystopia for nothing. The toxicity of this Pokemon is furthered by its new ability, Caustic, which can boost poison-type moves by double, but steel-type moves used the turn after will do half damage. It would
by double? Okay, that is insane. In fact, that is so good. If you just focus on being a poison type move user, that's insane. That's so good. Just use Gunk Shot, you're fine. I guess usually Registeel does have quite low attack, so it probably wouldn't be too strong. I think it has like 75 special attack or something pretty low like that. It's usually good in the defenses. I don't know if they're changing the stats or anything with this because they don't really mention changing the stats. Also, it does have a massive weakness to ground, so it's not too powerful, but this ability is insane.
It would also gain a new poison type move called Rust, which actually does super effective damage to steel types. As you can imagine,
oh my god, that's insane.
All these toxic fumes Regi Waste produces can't be good for the ozone layer. Well, it became especially hard on Regice, whose body couldn't maintain its icy shape anymore, and despite all odds, began to melt. To save Regice, Regitheus took
which is insane because the lore behind Regice is that it absolutely will never melt ever.
The watery melting part of its body and infused life into it, making an entirely new Regi, one that is still attached to Regice. The combination of these two Regis formed Regimatter, naturally with its upper half being ice and its bottom half being watery slush.
Oh my god, it looks like the Gate Guardian. You can see the ice type part of it is sort of steaming and fading away, and then you have the slushy water underneath it that's actually 2 creatures now.
It's an ice water type. With Regice's body being made of Antarctic ice and Regimatter's relationship with Regi Waste and its melted appearance, this all fits together to refer to global warming and the melting polar ice caps. Its name, Regimatter, comes from the states of matter water can become. Solid, the icy top half, liquid, the watery bottom half,
and then steam, which you can see coming from the top
and
there.
Gas, which is displayed via the mist on its back. This mist is also meant to depict the rapid
but what about plasma, huh? Do we talk about that? Does that still count as matter? I'm sorry, I haven't been keeping up to date with the scientific progress recently. It's going on with plasma recently? It's can we check what's happening with plasma?
Methane gas emissions that come from the deglaciations of the Arctic ice sheets. Regimatter being 2 Regis in one is also a reference to the Gemini zodiac sign.
Oh, that's me! Oh, I'm the Gemini zodiac sign, which I'm sure will only mean good things.
With Gemini being an air sign, it also ties into the gas portion of the 3 states of matter of.
It's the fucking what? It's an air sign? Cool. Yeah. So I'd be an airbender if Avatar was real.
Regimatter's design. Obviously, with so much of its design being made up of the states of matter, it has command over the 3 states, using moves that incorporate 2 or more of these, such as icy wind, chilling water, and mist. It would also have an ability to match called hydrologic, which boosts moves that use 2 or more states of matter. It uses this ability to cause destructive weather patterns that could put entire regions in danger. The proportions of its body and the eye shape on the lower half.
That is a really interesting concept, though. I really like that as an idea. I wonder how many moves there are that use more than 2 states of matter, though.
References icebergs, with it having a smaller top half and a larger bottom half.
Oh, finally we can have the Reggie iceberg. What's at the bottom of the Reggie iceberg? You know, there's always some weird stuff down there, right?
Much like icebergs have a small bit of ice sticking out of the water's surface, with much, much more below. All this advancement of the Pokemon world leads to advancement in technology, of course. With the technology requiring larger and larger amounts of electricity, the world needed an indefinite energy source to power this bright new civilization.
Nuclear. Regieleki is nuclear.
So, researchers sought out and captured Regieleki. They would go on to plug it into their central power source, fueling multiple regions.
They just plugged him in. They took like the little bottom half, the little legs, and just went, all right, let's just go and plug him. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, this is great. Yeah, this is, man, you could do so many portable charges on this. Dude, I think we could do like 3 Xbox 360s too. Man, it's a lot of electric coming out of this one.
Which eventually led to Aleki slowly starting to become one with the technology it was attached to. Rather than set it free, Regitheus decided to complete the fusion of Aleki and technology to create Regineuron, a technological hive mind connected to everything electronic within the region it powers.
Oh, its arms are like Wi-Fi signals. That's interesting. Okay. And also it has brain wrinkles.
Able to control the flow of energy and information. Regineuron is, in a sense, omnipresent, always watching. This is, of course, inspired by George Orwell's famous book, 1984. The brain and computers have a lot in common when it comes to how information is delivered, sending electrical signals to different places to make its body do different actions. This is where Regineuron gets its name and typing, with it being an electric
psychic, okay.
type, and with neurons being the information centers of the mind that send electrical impulses to transmit information. In Regineuron's design, you can see the folds of a brain that are also reminiscent of lightning bolts, and its hands emulate the symbol for a Wi-Fi signal. Its legs come together with the body to look like a neuron itself, but when combined with the Wi-Fi signal hands, looks almost like a radio or Wi-Fi tower, sending out whatever kinds of signals it wants to, brainwashing the population that imprisoned Regineuron to do its bidding. Speaking of, it would receive a new psychic type move called Brainwash, which would erase any stat changes and make the opposing Pokemon skip their turn.
Oh, that's really interesting. I was thinking it would do something like in a double battle, it would force the opponent to attack their teammate instead of whatever they've selected, which would be a very interesting concept. Could you imagine if there was a move like that forced you to, instead, it would only be a doubles move, I believe. But if you forced someone to attack their teammate instead of attacking you, oh my God, that would change everything. It would change the world. But something like Protect, so you couldn't just spam it over and over again. Maybe it's something that only works like once per battle. Oh, that would be sick.
Aleki already had Transistor, its ability would evolve into something like Regihollow's Gravestone, but for electric and psychic type moves instead, which would be named Amplifier. But how exactly would Regineuron subjugate the masses? With a society so built upon technology, the best way is through the media they consume, subliminally warping their minds. But how could Regineuron manipulate the media?
Dude, it's easy. Manipulate the media. Just have money. That's all. Just have money. Just give them money. It's so easy.
How about through a cute character? One that is so irresistibly alluring that it distracts them from the actual message being sent to their minds.
Yeah, right.
Regipuff, a dragon fairy type that was created by both Regineuron and Regitheus. After Regieleki,
they turned Regidraco into a fanboy.
He was abducted and became Regineuron. Regidrago became hellbent on returning it to the temple they once shared. Its destructive attempts at rescue became increasingly inconvenient to Regineuron's plan to brainwash the masses.
That's so funny. He's just trying to help. He's like a good dog.
Regineuron employed the help of Regitheus to quell and transmogrify Regidrago into the cute, harmless, and monetizable Regipuff.
That's so funny. All right, come on, Regipuff. Time for your forced feminization. Let's go.
Yes, like I alluded to before, Regipuff would become the sort of mascot for Regineuron's mental manipulation campaign.
I mean, it's got the hips, it's got the Dragonite head, which is obviously a lot more cutesy than Charizard. It's got the little puff on the head. It's got the eyes in the shape of hearts. It's a lot more pink now. It has those legs that just go for days.
Cute charm, but somewhat curvy body refers to the commercialization and sexualization in modern media, and especially when it comes to mythical creatures. Franchises like My Little Pony, How to Train Your Dragon, and even Pokemon itself have turned these fierce mythical creatures into adorable, merchandisable, and sometimes even sexually suggestive things. The community surrounding them.
Which one are you looking at? Hey, the community will do what the community will do, right?
Even taken it a step further with things like furries, scalies, and the like. And Pokemon certainly isn't not giving them more ammo for such things.
I know way too much about furries now. I've learned so much. I learned they have a special type of suit that you specifically use to have... Anyway.
To further the idea of the adorable dragon, the threatening, almost Charizard-like skull that makes up Regidrago's arms has been changed to the head of the adorable and derpy Dragonite. Like Alecki, Drago already had the Dragon-type move-boosting ability Dragon's Maw, which sounds much too threatening for the lovable Regipuff. So instead, we would give it the ability...
We'll give it the ability Big Snuggle Hug. All right, Regipuff. Use your signature move, Big Cuddly Bumpkins time. Oh no, here it comes.
Ability Dragon's Heart, which boosts Dragon-type moves by 1.25 times and gives it a 30% chance to infatuate the opponent.
Forcibly making you love the femboy. The woke Regineuron media is forcing you to love femboys.
Regipuff gets its name from Puff the Magic Dragon, as well as Powder Puff, which is a word that is typically attributed to things that are cutesy or girl-oriented. As I said in the intro, that leads us to the Regi that caused all these transformations. Regitheus. Regigigas.
Yeah, what is going on with this thing? It's just like the nasty version, the mean version.
Shaped the Pokemon world by pulling the continents into their proper place, saw how humanity was treating the planet it helped create. Natural disasters became more prevalent, the exploitation of resources sucking up the grandeur that it helped cultivate, and the incessant and mindless conflicts of the dominant species of the planet formed a fiery rage within Regigigas.
Okay, but they had like a really quick clip of like a huge battle there. I would love to see a huge battle. I'm talking like Roman Empire style. They sack up on their mons and they throw them out into a war. I know they wouldn't do it because it's not on brand. They've just seen that little clip there of the thousands charging against each other. I'm a big Total War player. I like big RPGs or big strategy games where you send armies against each other. I'm a big fan of that. I just think it would be sick to have legions and thousands of Pokemon smashing into each other's lines, and I don't know, it'd be really sick.
When that rage became uncontrollable, Regigigas evolved into Regitheus.
Oh no, he's so angry.
Normal fire type and a burning, cracking shell of what it once was. Fueled by its anger, Regitheus sought revenge on humanity.
Oh god, a hubris.
And corrupting each of the Regis to help destroy it. By stealing their resources, polluting their air, destabilizing their weather, and taking over their very minds. Regitheus gets its name from the Greek titan of fire, Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods of Olympus and gave it to humanity in the form of knowledge, technology, and civilization, only to be eternally punished by the gods, and eventually for humanity to burn the world with the very fire he bestowed upon them.
Yeah, honestly, he shouldn't have done that. Should have just let us, like, bang rocks together for a bit, I guess. I mean, we could just, like, eat apples.
In this instance, Regigigas and Regitheus represent the idea of Mother Earth, or Gaia, the grandmother to Prometheus, and how we as a human race have treated her. Regigigas' slow start ability would become the new ability Rising Anger, which would act kind of like slow start, but instead, after only 3 turns, it would get a 1-stage boost to all its stats.
Oh, shit. Okay, that's really cool.
Regitheus would truly be a terror if you managed to last that long in battle.
You only need to use Protect 2 times.
Or even capture it. And those are dual-typed Regis.
That was really cool. No, that was sick. I love how it had like the story that went alongside it based on the real world. I think that had some really interesting ideas. And hey, I really appreciate being allowed to react to these videos. I enjoy them a lot. I think they're really creative. I think that you should definitely go and check the description for the artist, of course, but also make sure that you subscribe to Prag Magic. That link is in the description. And if you want to see more of my face, then you can always subscribe here as well.